Hey, folks, we want to let you know that we're going to start reading emails from you, our listeners. And so if you want to email us and you want to tell us about what is exciting you about this podcast, things you're learning, stories of your own life that you're having conversations with people about masks, you can email us at TOTM POD 100. That's TOTM pod 100 at gmail.com. We look forward to seeing your emails and we look forward to reading them here on the show. Thank you so much, folks.
I began to, make beats in the style of the music. I used to do all these things that kind of mimicked or were products of listening to his music. And eventually, after a lot of effort and you know, confidence, I would go out to this artist, on his Instagram, whatever. I messaged everyone that he was following, and I just said, I have beats that I feel like he would want to hear and all of that. And eventually, after messaging like 150 people, someone got back to me and just said, send beats to this email. So I did, and eventually, joined a collective with this artist that I'm talking about. I've met him. I've been to different places and studios with him. It's been a really crazy journey, just that by itself, because starting from being my favorite artist and like into actually meeting him and working with him and making songs with him, it's just I feel like that's definitely he's definitely like an inspiration. And like a lot of my music within like the 2 or 3 years was because of him.
Hello and welcome to the Taking Off the Mask podcast. My name is Ashanti Branch and I'm really glad you've joined us. Today is an episode of our face-to-face with our youth host, Wenceslao. His guest today is Camilo. These two 15-year-olds are going to have a really meaningful conversation about their masks, about life, about passion, about purpose, about music. I think it's really important that we find ways of giving this space for young people to have these conversations. I think sometimes adults think young people don't talk about serious things. I think they deeply want to. I think we have to make the space for them to do it. And we have to make it okay for them to have these deep conversations that are not structured by us sometimes, but that give them the room to be in deep thought with each other. Last week I had the opportunity to go to New York University and see a film called Close. The director is Lucas Dont, and it's a Belgian film. And it was done based on the research from Dr. Niobe Way in her book, Keeping Secrets. And what you see in this film is these two boys, 13 years old, who are going to a new grade, and their relationship begins to have challenges, their friendship. And maybe you can think about a time in your life when you had a close friend, and as you moved on to different grades, maybe that friendship began to splinter, it began to break apart, it began to feel disconnected. And this film is powerful. I definitely encourage you to see it if it's playing in a independent film theater near you. It was nominated for an Oscar. It's a powerful film. But deeper than what you hear about from the Oscars or the awards that it's gotten, it's a heartfelt conversation about what's happening with young men in our communities. What do they do when their feelings and their emotions are overloaded and they don't have anybody they think they can talk about it with? What happens when their best friend is no longer their best friend? Do we tell them just ignore them? Do we tell them just don't worry about them? Do we try and write it off as no big deal because as adults we've gotten good at putting people into the timeout box? Our kids don't always have those same skills of communication, of compartmentalization, of brain development. And so I invite you, as you listen to this conversation, to just think about where you were at 15 years old. Did you have deep, meaningful conversations with people? Did you have a space to have that? I hope you did. But if you didn't, I want you to really know that it's possible if we create the right space. I'm really excited about Wenceslao and his second episode of the year. And I hope that as you begin to think about young people in your life, maybe you know a young person whose story would be meaningful for others to hear. Please let us know and send us an email. We have a new email for the podcast. It is TOTM POD 100. That's TOTM, which is taking off the mask, pod 100 at gmail.com. And you can email us and let us know if you have a question for us. Maybe we have a comment. You can send us an email and let us know. Maybe we'll read some of them on the air here. But we would love to be in contact with you. Thank you for being a part of this movement with us. If you haven't yet made a mask, you can make your mask anonymously at 100K. Nope. You can make a mask anonymously at millionmask.org. Millionmask.org. The reason I was going to say 100K is because we are about 90 days away from reaching 100,000 masks. We're so close. And what I'm really excited is that I hope you are already one of those 100,000. Because as we hit the 100,000, we will be celebrating that. And then we will be making our way on to a million masks. Be a part of this movement. And if you are inspired by this, please don't keep it a secret. Share this with somebody you know, you love, you care about, or somebody who you want to have a deeper conversation with and you want to show them that it's possible. And so I appreciate you all for being a part of this movement with us. Thank you for being a listener of the Taking Off the Mask podcast. And we look forward to seeing you again soon. Take care now.
Welcome, everybody, to my second episode. And I am here with...
Hi, my name is Camilo. I'm a producer from Oakland, and I'm 15 years old.
All right, nice to have you, Camilo. So today we're gonna do the usual. We're gonna do mask, card games, and then we're gonna talk about each other. I'm gonna ask questions to Camilo about him and his music. So today we're gonna start with the mask. So people who don't know, the mask is where you draw the front part. The front of the mask is what you normally let people see, what you would like to show, what you feel comfortable showing to other people. And the back of the mask is what you normally hide and don't feel comfortable, sharing to people. So we're gonna be starting with the front of the mask.
I can do the front, and
All right.
yeah. All right. So for my mask, just drew a little mask, and I wrote what I usually show is being energetic, happy, and excited. Just because I like to give off, I'm an energetic person. I like doing things. It's easy to get into things for me. And then on the back here, to just do the same thing, but I wrote tired, unmotivated, and stressed because at times, I'm not always going to be super happy. I'm not always going to be excited to do everything. So, sometimes things can be stressful to do and I just don't feel like doing very much. So I can be unmotivated.
Thank you for sharing. So for the front of the mask, I put semi-athletic. I'm not a really athletic person. I try to be. I put smart and a fun person. I try to do well in school. I'm someone who really focuses on school, and a fun person because I try to have as much fun as possible. And for the back of the mask, I wrote non-confident or self-doubt because I really don't feel confident in most of my work. I really doubt myself. I put introverted person or shy because I get really shy and I'm nervous when I talk to new people, meet new people. And I wrote stressful because I feel like it can be common, like people in our age, to be stressful, because we're making this transition, I guess you could say, from being a little kid to more into an adult. So yeah.
Cool.
See. So now we're gonna be moving on into the card games. For the people who don't know, a card game is where there's different destinations, and you try to save the different people in those places by answering some of these questions. And there can be some challenge questions, which is takes more time to look into yourself more. I guess you could say that. So, Camilo, do you want me to start or do you want to start?
You can start.
Let me start. I'll just put the random card in here. The first question is, what is a hidden talent that you want to work on more?
Mm.
Ooh, I don't feel I have a hidden talent, but I guess you could say a talent, or more like a skill that I have, is learning really fast something, or collecting information. And that I feel that that would be really helpful in the future to learn something quickly and memorize it really quickly. I guess I could work more on that skill. So yeah, let me pick 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I got 6 cards right here face down. Just pick a number 1, 6. I'll pick that card.
3.
3. The card is, what is something you have wanted to do in your life but don't talk about?
Well, sometimes I feel like I play a sport. I play soccer, and sometimes I consider like what it would be like if I were to play a different sport. Just because I mean, obviously I wouldn't really be good at it, or I wouldn't be used to playing it, but it's interesting to there's so many different sports and there's so many different things that you could do with your athleticism. I feel like at times I'm like, what if I decided to play baseball instead, or football, like something else. But I wouldn't really say that I would do it, but it's definitely something that I think about at times.
Yeah, I guess it's like when you let's say I play many instruments, and when I transition one instrument to another, it'd be kind of weird. It's you're not used to it, but at the same time, I guess it's a nice feeling that you try to learn something else or something different. For example, so I got this book called The Prophet. It's about this prophet, this person who gets asked many things, and one of them is about reason and passion. He says your soul is oftentimes a battlefield upon which your reason and your judgment wage war against your passion, your appetite. That quote really shows me that your mind or yourself or your soul, I guess he says, really fights against itself, whether thinking, should I do this, or should I just try something new, or should I just stick with what I'm
Hmm.
doing right now? And I feel that many people can relate to that, with decisions in their life, apart from sports or music. You know, like for example, should I? No, me and this person aren't really getting well. We're not getting along well. Should I cut him off, or should I just try to you know make things better between us?
Hmm. Yeah.
Let's do a few more, one more. So card would be middle. Name a relationship that needs to end. Oh, it's a tough one. Um, I'll try my best to answer that one. completely truthful. I feel that if there's a relationship that I feel isn't working well, then I'll just end it, or they would know as well. This isn't working. I
Yeah.
think off. For example, like my relationships, I guess you could say, like girlfriends. They, I guess things weren't working between us a lot. Yeah, I've had a few in the past. And man, I guess at the end, it doesn't work out and it hits hard, but you just know it's for the best for the both of them. They, we cut each other off, but at the end of the day, I wish well for them. I don't know if they wish well for me, but yeah, do one more. 3, 4. Name a number between 1 and 6.
5.
5. 5. Tell us about a time when you realized you were becoming an adult.
Hmm. Uh, I would probably say, I mean, there's like a few moments where things just kind of seem like very independent. What I'm doing, uh, maybe like a few times I've gone out to dinner just with my friends and stuff. Walking around at night with friends. Just certain things that I feel like I haven't really done very much. Uh, without adults around. For I'm still relatively young, but like for my age, I feel like doing certain things independently is definitely a sign of like growing up and doing being more adult, I guess.
Be more responsible for yourself, yeah, or independent. Let's do one more. Um, are you more afraid of success or failure? Why? I feel that I'm scared of both, I guess you could say, but I'm mostly scared of success because failures, I feel that I'm scared of failures because, when something fails or I fail on something, I guess you could say it hits hard. It's a lot of pain, I guess you could say. At the same time, you're learning. And I'm afraid of success a bit because so we're trying to be successful in life. I guess many people say, teachers, parents, try to. But once you become successful, um, I feel that you, you reach a point. You say, "I've had this, and I have that. What is there to do now?"
Mm.
Like I accomplished my dream. Let's say my dream was to be, I don't know, a firefighter, right? That was my dream. That was my success. I'm a firefighter. Now, what is my goal? Or what is my success now? Is it to be like a chief of firefighter? Is it to have a family now? Like, what is my success? And I feel that I'm afraid of success because I reach a certain point and now I say, what do I do now?
Yeah.
So, you want to do one more?
Sure.
All right. Pick a number.
1.
What is a lesson that you've learned from a challenging or negative relationship?
Hmm. I think a lesson from a relationship, whether it be romantic or not, I think one of the biggest that I've learned is, no, you have to manage your own like time and your own schedule, I guess, because if someone expects something of you that you can't really do because of your schedule or your time, it's not really your fault, because not everyone is entitled to your time, and you have to manage that in your own way. And I feel like some people can easily be thinking that they're entitled to someone else's time or someone else's valuable time, and I think you should be able to manage that yourself. That's a pretty good lesson that I've learned.
Mm, thanks. So, now I'm gonna be asking you questions about, you. So you say you're a music producer over there.
Hmm.
How long have you been making music, and like how
uh
did you get into it?
well, I've been making music for a really long time. I don't really know when I started. I'd say at least 5 or 6 years, since I was really young. And honestly, like, I think just listening to music kind of inspired me to do it, because it just, like, I feel like it's something that without a beat, there would be no song. Without, the production, there would be nothing. And I
Mhm.
feel like it's like you can be so creative with it. There's really no way to be wrong, and so you can express yourself in any kind of way that you want. And I feel like that's kind of what inspired me to start making it.
Yeah, I also music as well. Not really professionally. I'm still learning, still trying to get there. But you said music is really, to express yourself. And um, I have a question for you. Do you think music is a way to leave from the problems you have or from the real world? And do you think like you could just, let's say like I just had an argument with somebody. I just want to, forget about that moment and I just want to make music right now.
I think it's definitely a therapeutic type thing, but I don't know if I would say that it's kind of an escape, because for me, if I were in that situation and I just wanted to make music, I feel like it would be more to express my emotion. And, like, I'm not always, if I'm not the best with words, or if I don't, if I feel like I'm stuck or something and I can't really get how I'm feeling out, music is an outlet for that. It's a way to, like, be able to kind of express how you're feeling with really no boundary. Nothing is going to stop you except your brain when you're making music. So if you have any kinds of feelings that you need to get out, you can always do that with music.
I see. And like, what's your favorite type of music to make? Like, do you have a preference, like genre?
Uh, I mean, generally, I would say, rap music. I wouldn't really be able to specify, like, subgenres and stuff. I feel like, um, whatever, I'm feeling, like, I experiment with a lot of new things all the time. If someone wants something specific, I can, work on something like that. But it's not, I don't really like to, limit myself.
Mm. That's, I guess, music you could say is a pleasure. It's like, it could be a career, but also be a pleasure for yourself. Like,
Hmm.
pleasure is a freedom song, but it's not freedom. Is the blues, but is not their fruit. It is a deep calling onto a height, but is not the deep nor the high. Just like a tiny poem of pleasure, and I feel that music is used for many ways, used in many ways, and for many people, whether it's to, I guess you could say to make a diss, or try to make an impact on someone, or just trying to get a word out on something. And
Yeah,
do you think music can make a big impact on people?
definitely. I think, music has had a big impact on me. It impacts everyone in very different ways. For me, opened my eyes to a lot of, like, possibilities. And I didn't really, I've always liked listening to music my whole life. And this is like kind of taught me how to appreciate more kinds of music and appreciate the effort that it takes for people to make songs. And I feel like it just like it can impact anyone in very different ways.
Um, so I got inspirations by many people. I'm inspired by musicians, for example, one called Jaden Hauser, one called Bankroll Hayden, some rappers in there. Who do you get? Who is like someone that really inspires you to make music or try to help somebody with music? I guess you could say.
Well, I kind of have a kind of story about this. When I a few years ago, about like maybe like very beginning of the pandemic, I was playing video games with my friend, and we were listening to music together. And he put on a song, and I was like, I really liked the song. And I asked him, like, who is this? He told me, and I started listening to all their music, and I just like fell in love with it, and I would listen to it all the time. And I was just thinking, like, I began to make beats in the style of the music. I used to, I would do all these things that kind of mimicked or were products of listening to his music. And eventually, after a lot of effort and like you know confidence, I would go out to this artist, on his Instagram, whatever. I messaged everyone that he was following, and I just said, I have beats that I feel like he would want to hear and all of that. And eventually, after messaging like 150 people, someone got back to me and just said, send beats to this email. Um, and yeah, so I did, and eventually, joined a collective with this artist that I'm talking about. I, I've been to, I've met him. I've been to different places and studios with him. It's been a really crazy journey, just that by itself, because starting from being my favorite artist and like into actually meeting him and working with him and making songs with him, it's just I feel like that's definitely he's definitely like an inspiration. And like a lot of my music within like the 2 or 3 years was because of him, or like kind of sounded like his style, just because I liked it so much.
Can you name the artist, or is that like not possible?
I mean, I could, but I don't want to like tease anything that could be coming out soon. Maybe after it comes out, then I could name him.
Are you making the beats for him, or
Yeah.
that's not? I guess you could be an inspiration as well, like somebody that went from listening to his music is now making music for him,
Hmm.
which I guess now just really impressed with your work and your dedication about music, which hopefully and can impact other people and inspire other people. Well, I wish I really had talent to put a lot of effort in my music and work with some artists with I don't know. I'm speechless right now. Shit. Anyways,
Yeah.
my other question is, do you think listening to music can affect your mood?
Definitely. Uh, and you can affect your mood in any kind of way. Sometimes, if you're sad, you might think that listening to happy music and like cheerful stuff will make you feel better. But also sometimes you kind of need to just let your emotion, listen to yourself and let your emotions like uh, you know just
Take
out. So I feel like, at times listening to sad music, listening to, some emotional stuff, it can be okay if you're sad, and it's not like a mood killer or anything. It's okay to, embrace your emotions and how you're feeling. But, it can definitely change your mood. I sometimes think about when it's raining, you can listen to like relaxing, calm music to make it feel like nice and cozy, or you can listen to kind of, dark, cool music and make it seem like you're like some cool person in the rain. There's many ways that you can interpret different things just by music.
it. Yeah, I feel that when I'm like, let's say I'm happy, I'm just in the mood, listen to some music, put on my playlist. Let's say this music is talking about, I don't know, some breakup or love song. I feel that most of the time I just get memories of the time where I was in love. Sometimes my emotions take over, and I feel that music is just a good way to just for me to just reflect on my past and just let the music lyrics just speak for me, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
And it's really, music is vibe. Um anyways, about music, let's do who is like one who's like a artist that you want to make music with, like your
Hmm.
dream.
Uh, I don't know. I mean, I feel like there's like realistic dreams, and then there's something where it would take a lot of it wouldn't be anything in my near future. Uh, so I try not to like fantasize too much, just because uh, if I do, I might discourage myself. Thinking about, I could work with this really big artist, and then I bring myself back to reality and think about all of the work and progress it's going to take to actually do that, and it kind of sometimes can be discouraging. But honestly, I don't think anyone in specific that I would like really want to work with. I feel like they I just make the beats, and I am not going to like force anything that's not going to happen. So I'm willing, it would be great to work with anyone. I feel like I want to work with everyone, let's say that.
That's that's a good way to say it, just your dreams don't have to be easy. I'm sorry, my language, I'm just getting mixed up. Your dreams don't have to be easy, they just have to be possible, I guess you could say that.
Hmm.
Me, like, I want to be a music producer for like a label company, right? Or just work there. And it may not be easy, it may not be possible, but it is something that I feel that I can really like try to achieve and try to push myself to reach that dream.
Yeah.
And if it doesn't work out, then I guess you could say I got a plan B, which is a completely different career. But you just you working with another artist is such a huge thing, because um I'm sorry right now. Mine's getting mixed up. It's just, how long did it take you to reach that artist or just that person who told you to just send the beats? Like, how
From
much effort did you put? How much time?
It was a lot of effort, and honestly, I got pretty lucky, and I didn't have to like go through making several accounts and messaging them over and over.
Hmm.
I would say from when I started texting everyone, it was only like it wasn't even an hour. It was like 20 minutes, and I would just went through all of his followers. I just messaged all of them, and someone just happened to respond. I feel like it's not really as much of in that area of effort. It's like how much you want to do it. It's You can do it all day if you feel like it. You can message a million people. You can message 100 people a day, every day, and you'd get tons of people to respond to you. It's just that you have to actually want to do that. And some people just are like, oh, this is too much work, it's too boring. I feel like you can do it. Anyone can do it. You just have to be able to not give up. It depends on how much you want it.
Hmm. That's Was making music always your dream, like, or making music for an artist?
Well, for a long time, I wanted to be a lawyer, just because I feel like it was always like an interesting thing to me. People always have said like I'm good at like arguing or something, and I feel like people kind of like around me and my family just pushed me towards it and thought it was a good idea. So that was just kind of in the back of my mind, just because like a lot of people have said that I should, but
Hmm.
um, music pretty took over my life pretty quickly, I would say.
Yeah, I would say I got once, like, when I was 5. I remember I wanted to be many things. First, I said I wanted to be a firefighter. Then I said I wanted to be a DJ. I went back to firefighter, then music producer. Now, and my plan B is to be an F1 pit stop crew, part of the F1 pit stop crew.
Wow.
There's like, I guess once you start getting older, you just start seeing the world the way it is. Just trying to see reality. Compared when I was 5, I would think life was a bit more easier. Just choose a career, just study, and that's it. Guess now you gotta put a lot more effort now.
Well, if you have any like advice that you need, I know you want to make music, and if you have any specific advice or that you need from me, or like any questions about music in specific, I can answer those. I'm not really good at asking questions, to be honest.
Okay. Uh, how do you think music connects to somebody? Like connects to a person? Like what? Like in what ways? Like can music? Like in what ways does music connect to you?
To another person,
Yeah, or
I
to another person, or like to you, for example.
oh well, I mean, it depends on the music. I feel like, if I'm listening to like Christmas music during Christmas, it makes me feel like in the spirit, in the, getting ready for it and stuff. But then, different types of music just give off different feelings, and they can either make certain emotions that you're feeling stronger, or kind of repress the feelings and try to bring out something else. So I feel like they connect to you in in any way that you want to listen to it.
Do you usually compare yourself to somebody else? Like, for example, if I were to say, somebody else who made it higher than me did it this way, should I follow his footsteps or should I just make my own footsteps?
uh I think, well, honestly, like the music industry is a lot, like it's a lot of stealing and copying, and for success, I feel like I definitely want to like tread my own path and do all the things on my own. um I wouldn't say that I would want to follow in someone's footsteps, but someone who's making it very big obviously did something right, and I think taking general advice from them is always smart. um but yeah, I mean, in music, ideas, people, steal ideas. People, I mean, it's creative stealing. Obviously, you're not just gonna like take something, but it's based. Music is based off other music, so it's really just like depending on what you like.
How do you see yourself in the future with music? Like just like like your older self, do you just like see yourself just making music or try to, saying yourself, I made music with this artist. Now I think I should let out like a message to everybody or try to impact somebody else's life who's trying to, make music for their dream artist or for an artist.
Uh, well, I probably won't stop making music.
Mhm.
I could. I mean, I like talking to people about this kind of stuff. I would definitely enjoy being a mentor when I'm older, but I don't think I would stop making music. It's I don't know. It's like the main way that I'm creative and like that I can do creative things. So I feel like it's an important part of my life to keep doing.
Do you think that do you feel more comfortable or find more enjoyment in making music with somebody else, like two music producers, or just yourself?
Well, that's it can be different. Some of my friends are music producers, and they come over. We make beats together. We make songs together, and it can be really fun when they're your friends and you're doing stuff together like casually. But sometimes you're working with someone who's always not always like super nice. They can be control freaks. You meet all different kinds of people, and I'm not saying that it's bad, but sometimes it's just not as fun as it could be just making your own stuff.
Yeah, when I try to make music with my friends, they just, I'm telling them like they just say you're just speaking nerdy music slang. It can be difficult for. I wish I had some friends who know a lot about music, but not everybody. They just listen to music and just not know how it fully works.
Yeah.
Um. So yeah, that's pretty much what I have. Is there anything
Cool.
else to say?
Uh, I don't think
And
so. Thanks for having me on here. Thanks for your time.
thank you. Wanna say something to the people who listening, or like people who may have like a dream to work with somebody they, you know, they're they're heroes.
Yeah, if you have a goal, just keep going. Just keep going towards it. Think of it like every day you're one step closer to that goal, and you can make it there. You just got to keep working on it, because if you give up, you're not really going to make any progress towards it. You got to notice that even if it's difficult, it's just another way to get to your dreams.
All right, there it is, everybody. Milo's words. Um, thank you, the audience, for tuning in to my second podcast. Thank you, Camilo, for coming, and
Thank you for having me.
it was nice talking about music, and I'm looking forward to listening to that new songs you're gonna put out. See, hopefully, when it comes out, you're gonna send it to me. I'll take
Yeah,
a
definitely.
listen to it. Um, for everyone outside, thank you again for tuning in. I will be making another one soon, and thank you, Camilo.
The Taking Off the Mask podcast is produced by Ryan Louie. Graphics are by Kelly Wong. And a special thanks to the team at Ever Forward, Vanessa Cortez and Choque Allen Alvarez. We'd like to thank everyone who's been a part of the creation of this podcast as we cross the 100th episode milestone and begin the work to the next 100. We hope that everyone who's been a part knows that they're a part of the Taking Off the Mask family. And we look forward to you being a part of it as well. If you like what you heard today, please subscribe, write a 5-star review, and share, as we look forward to continuing to have conversations that matter. Stay tuned for the relaunch of the Million Mask Movement on 11/11/22. That's November 11th of 2022. There's a math problem in there. You can find out more by visiting everforwardclub.org and following us on social media. Take care, and we'll see you soon.